All right, thank you, Aaron. So as you can see, we are in the middle of what is shaping up to be a historic ice storm. We have this ice storm warning in purple for virtually the entire area. Winter storm warning to the west. We have the winter weather advisory to the southeast. So let's break down really what all that entails. Here's a look at your current radar. We have freezing rain and sleet that continues to fall. And I know that can be a little deceptive. You may look out your window and say, it's just raining, just cold rain. Well, yeah, that is the case for some areas to our extreme southeast, but not for the other areas, and I'll break down why now. As you can see, we do have multiple different types of weather. Rain, well, we're not really worried about that. We're not really worried about snow, because for snow you have to have a full column of cold air. Well, we don't. With rain, you have frozen precipitation hitting warm air and staying in it. Here are the two that we're concerned with: freezing rain and sleet. So with sleet, the precipitation leaves the cloud, it's frozen, hits that layer of warm air, but it has plenty of time to hit more cold air to refreeze before it hits the surface. That's when you start hearing it dinging on your window, and you can see that little pellet. Now, as far as freezing rain, it doesn't quite have enough time after it hits that warm air to form into a pellet, but it has enough time to get into that cold air to then freeze upon impact. Have you ever walked outside and you've seen what looks like almost a starburst on your car, on the actual top itself? Well, that is because of freezing rain. So we see basically ice on impact. Current temperatures 33 in Memphis, to the west in the 20s. You can see pretty much everyone hovering in those areas, a little warmer again to the south and east, but that is to be expected. Wind gusts, here's another problem we have. So our primary concern, obviously ice, power outages, which then go with trees, and that comes into play with these winds because they are gusting right now close to 20 miles an hour. We've seen them close to 30 miles an hour. Why is that an issue? Well, once all of this freezes, we're going to see those power lines coming down. It takes a quarter of an inch of ice to bring down a powerfully strong, fortified power line, and we're going to be seeing potentially upwards of a half an inch of that. So we're going to see that coming down. This wind will help take that down, those trees down. That's why, again, if you can move your car away from your tree, do so. Otherwise, you're about to hear some very loud noises. I can't even really explain it to you, the sound, but once you hear it, you know that's the cracking of that ice. That also is going to help us dry out this wet precipitation and help it encapsulate us in ice. So here's a look at the rest of the day. We're in the 20s. We have a good chance of seeing that precipitation continuing to fall as we head to the evening and continue to drop. We'll get some breaks as we head towards the evening hours, but again, this is where we see the impact. Much like when we look at the index when it comes to severe weather, extreme purple, that's a level 5. Red is a 4. So that's where we need to focus. You can see the majority of the area in the ice storm warning is either at a level 4 or 5 impact. Again, those impacts going to be power outages, trees down. You can see over the next hour by hour, we're going to get a little bit of a break as we head towards the evening. We may even see a few flurries. Don't go try out to play in it. It's not going to be the fun kind. As you'll be able to see in the 7-day forecast, unfortunately, we're going to be staying below freezing. So ice storm today, ice capsule tomorrow, bitter cold temperatures. We may start to be able to dig out of this by Sunday, but again, right now we are looking at potentially close to a half to 3/4 to an inch of ice. Trevor?
Chelsea, obviously still